Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms, and I'm out here to do a little brush hogging today. I cut this field about 6-7 months ago and did a video on how much I charge for brush hogging. My rates have come up a little bit since then. I'm at around $60 to $70 an hour depending on how thick the material is. Anyway, I've just got about 2 acres here. Should take me maybe hour and a half, but we'll find that out as we go. Before I fire it up, I'll take you over and show you kind of how thick the material is. Then we'll get to it. This stuff's 8-9 foot tall, about 1.5 to 2 inch diameter. So it's a good pull for that little bush hog, but it's within the cutting range, and I've done a lot thicker and heavier stuff than this. And part of it is just, grass that's waist high, and that stuff will be easy. Cross my fingers for no mechanical breakdowns, even though I just probably jinxed myself. So I almost forgot that the last time I did a bush hogging job, I broke a shear bolt here, and I hadn't really done any maintenance on this in a little while. Looks like it's still got oil in it. Let's pull this plug and see. Yeah, sight glass looks like it has oil in it, but we're on a very little bit of an incline here, but I feel like it should be running out of this hole, which is, I guess this hole is about 1/4 inch higher than the sight glass. All right, so I'm guilty of not doing my maintenance as often as I should, but from memory, this drive shaft is hard to grease. The lock and lube helps, but I still think it's hard to get in here to this. Well, that was barely low, if at all, so that definitely was not a problem. So I'm gonna get this housing right here. Always recommend the lock and lube with the DeWalt grease gun. I think the only way to grease this rear U-joint is to take it off of the gearbox, which seems like a poor design to me, but I didn't bring the tools to do it with, so I'll have to get that later. There are 2 grease fittings on the tail wheel, and here and down there. Just kind of frustrating I can't access that one on the drive shaft. When I brush hogged this property in the spring, it seems like there were some rocks down here along this fence line, and I was worried about hitting those rocks. So I wanted to drive forward with my bucket down. But that was a little bit hard to do because there were some pretty thick thorn bushes and stuff right in this area. So I actually had to turn around and back over parts of it, because as I pushed into it, it was wrapping around the bucket and getting caught up, and the thorns were coming over and slapping me. I always find the hardest part of a bush hogging job is making the first couple of trips around the perimeter and establishing where you're going to cut. Having done this job already once, I knew there weren't any major obstacles I had to worry about, and I'd been meaning to get to this job for over a month and just had trouble finding time to get over here. So I decided to try to squeeze it in today, and I only had a couple of hours to work on it, which had me rush and go off and leave without everything I needed. As you'll see as we go along, that cost me quite a bit of time. So the lesson of the day is take the time to make sure you have everything you might need before leaving for the job. I didn't get this part on film, but I also broke another shear bolt right as I was starting, and I brush hogged a long time with this, a lot of hours before ever breaking one, and now I've broke 2 in a row, so I need to look into what's going on there. If it seems like I'm pulling backwards and forwards for no reason at this point, it's because I'm trying to push through all those thorn bushes with the bucket. I just looked down at my fuel gauge and I'm almost empty. And I don't even have a jug with me. No diesel, no way to get it. I could, go get a jug, but I think I'm less than a mile from a gas station. I'm just gonna drive the tractor down there and fill her up. Not very smart if you're trying to make money by the hour to show up without fuel in your machine. Happened though.
Had stories about the city life and the crazy nights. Figure I should probably give it a try. Maybe check it out, see what it's all about. But the traffic was fast and the money was slow. The people I met you never get to know. I kind of miss this place I used to live back home. 'Cause up here it's breakneck, paycheck, rat race. What's
If you've ever driven your tractor down the highway with a slice of pizza, you might be a redneck. The last time I did this job, the brush was a lot thicker and it was hard to tell how steep the hill was, and I was concerned about rolling the tractor over, and I decided the best thing to do was go back and forth the direction I am now. But after starting doing that for a little while, I decided that wasn't the best way at all. It would make more sense after making the original perimeter to just go the other direction, and so that's what I started to do. So it overheated and I jumped off to get a leaf blower to blow all this out, and started raining. And it rained a lot last night, it rained a lot today, and it's pretty soft out here, so hopefully I don't get stuck. But I actually thought I had a problem because I had coolant coming out down by the front axle, but it was just from the overflow bottle boiling out whenever it got too hot. So no big deal. I should be able to just blow this out, and as long as I don't get stuck, I ought to be able to knock this out pretty quick. it really feels like the brush hog isn't cutting very well. And after I was done, I looked at the blades and there is no edge left on it at all. I'd seen several people say that they never sharpen their brush hog blades, but I can't run them anymore like this. The two choices is sharpen them or replace them. In an upcoming video, I'm going to flip the brush hog upside down or stand it up and show you what they look like and what I end up doing with them. And also, I'm going to try to take a look at that slip clutch and make sure it's in good shape since I'm breaking bolts. Well, I got the job done, but one of these days I need to learn my lesson about showing up to a job with everything I need to do the job, because I wasted time today and yesterday over that. The other note to take away from today is I didn't like the way this thing cut. It may be the type of the saplings, because they were kind of big but not that strong, and they would lean over and it'd cut the top of them off. So it may not be as much as a problem as I think, but I'm gonna lift this bush hog up, take a look at the blades, see if they need sharpened or replaced, or if that's just how they should cut. So if you have any thoughts on maintenance for my bush hog, put them in the comments. Otherwise, I appreciate you taking time to watch this video. Put links to a couple more of our videos right here, and I'll see you next time.